Well, the dominoes of the 2026 free agency continue to drop as mere minutes ago. Shams Charania has announced the Toronto Raptors are trading back for Kawhi Leonard, for Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 second-round picks. What a trade, and we'll get into what this means for both teams. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to BoxInOne, a podcast created by roischand and Joachim, the two guys you see on the screen. Let's get into this Kawhi trade. I think the biggest thing with this trade is the storylines. Not only is a player of Kawhi Leonard's stature returning back to Toronto, where he won a ring with them, famously spent one season, one of the greatest, probably the greatest one-and-done season in NBA history, winning Finals MVP, giving Toronto that first ever championship. And now he's returning back 7 years later after winning this ring, where a lot of Raptors fans, a lot of NBA fans in general said he should have never left Toronto in the first place. So I think this is a fun reunion and a scary reunion when you think about the starting lineup of Scottie Barnes and Kawhi Leonard. Not only, Kawhi Leonard and Scottie being that menace on defense, but also Scottie being able to be mentored by Kawhi, who share a similar play style, share a similar assets of, guarding 1 through 5, being good on the ball, being good passers for their size. And Scottie can learn a lot from Kawhi here to expand his offensive game. We've seen it grow in years and years, but this is only going to elevate Scottie Barnes. And I think that's a big thing that people are neglecting. The amount of talent that is going to be surrounding Scottie Barnes and the things he can learn from Kawhi Leonard is going to be absolutely incredible. But moving on to the Clippers side, before I talk about what this is going to mean for the Raptors season, I think this is a solid trade for the Clippers. Brandon Ingram returned to all-star form this past season. He was injured in the playoff run, but throughout the season he hit some clutch shots. He hit a lot of game winners. He proved that he can be that number one scorer on a team. Then you get Grady Dick, who had a down year last season, but still a promising young player. But more importantly, I want to look at the picks. I think with the Clippers having to, send that haul for Paul George and not having many of their picks, or any of their picks for that matter, getting these picks from Toronto, yes, they're not going to be lottery picks, but to have that build on your young core of Keaton Wagler, Benedict Mathurin, Darius Garland, all these young players, and you don't really necessarily have to fit yourself into a hole of, worrying about, we got to win games because the Thunder have our picks. So being able to fall on these 2 first-round picks is going to be pretty solid. But back to Toronto, this is probably one of the most exciting teams now for next season. I don't think the Raptors are done making moves. The Clippers were saying if we were to trade Kawhi Leonard, we don't want RJ Barrett, we want Brandon Ingram. So they got Brandon Ingram. Emmanuel quickly and RJ Barrett could still be on the move. I think that bench is going to need a little bit of retooling as well. Certainly in the market for a center. But the storyline of Kawhi Leonard returning back to Toronto, reports have come out that he said he views this as a retirement opportunity to retire as a Raptor. And if we look at the stats from Kawhi last season, returning to all defense, returning to all NBA, this is not question mark Kawhi Leonard. You're getting a Kawhi Leonard who appeared in a handful of games, was the Clippers' best player, was one of the best defensive players in the NBA, was one of the best players in the NBA. I think it's a great reunion. If Kawhi Leonard was going to leave his home city of Los Angeles to return back to Toronto, where he was so beloved by this country, by this fan base, I think is an incredible thing. 1 of 46 games last season took the Cavs to 7 games, missing 2 of their best players. So if they can get healthy, if they can, rally behind Kawhi Leonard and Scottie Barnes, this is going to be a team to watch for sure. And reports have come out that Kawhi Leonard, who turned 35 years old yesterday, is eligible for a 2-year, $123 million contract extension, which the Raptors are looking to keep him under contract, where he would become a free agent in 2028. He'll be 37 by then. Maybe that will be his retirement contract. This may be the last contract we see Kawhi Leonard sign. But for the Raptors, I think this is a great addition for the haul that you're giving up. It was kind of question marks of Scottie Barnes, RJ Barrett, and Brandon Ingram all sort of playing the same wings positions. So either one of them was expendable, and obviously they weren't going to trade Scottie Barnes. So to get immense upgrade on Brandon Ingram, who with Kawhi Leonard, who is a much taller player, much stronger player, much faster player, better defender, better shooter, better scorer, more experience, to add to their already booming young core and eager group, this is just a fantastic trade. And I do think it's a win-win trade, but obviously all eyes will be on the Raptors for this upcoming season. But with that being said, that will do it for this one. Kawhi Leonard returning back to Toronto, where he won a championship, the Raptors' only championship in their history. Let us know what you think about this trade in the comments. Did the Raptors win? did the Clippers win? And with that being said, this is Rois from BoxInOne signing off. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one for the rest of the free agency starting tonight.